Sure, I mean, it's a little bit strange to say that into the Faces Void, but you do have Ember and Luna that scale really well, whereas on the side of MAG.Yolo, it does feel like it's kind of all in on Vinessi to really carry through if the game drags on past this pushing point for MAG.
I will say how it all pans out. MAG.Yolo, game number 1 here up against G2.iG. Definitely the underdogs in this series up against G2.iG, as they are actually going to have their smoke broken by Nothing to Say. Big wraparound from IG as well, just wrapping through the dire jungle into that river. They'll head towards the Radiant Triangle and try to get that high ground advantage, and this could be really detrimental to MAG.Yolo, who seem to have no idea this is happening. Oh, and Vinessi, no, he's not going to run back. G2.iG, they will find CZY though. CZY thinking there might be a ward on the high ground of the cliff, but that is not the case. JT to take the first kill. MAG.Yolo still rushing for them. But ultimately in a 5v4, I wouldn't recommend going for the early team fight. And well, MAG.Yolo, they will have to back their way out. And they might even have to waste a sentry ward here as well, because he did believe there was one on that cliff, but there was not.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit rough if they do expand that sentry. At the least, they could unblock the camp to open up some stacking for themselves on MAG.Yolo. A great start for G2.iG. JT in particular getting that first blood. Does feel really nice, and they're still fighting over this one.
Yeah, they're going to give it a crack, though, after the Death Prophet. Yolo going to take a bit of damage on the way out as well here from JT. JT already has the full wand up now, plus some extra regen for himself, off the back of that first blood bonus, and just going to make life harder for you if you're MAG.Yolo. You know, the lane was already going to be challenging enough against this Magnus, but now with the extra stats, with the extra regen, it's probably going to be a little bit even more annoying.
Yeah, and it's a really nice lane for JT to just keep spamming out that shockwave as well. And you've got line down the line, just mana draining JT. If ever he runs low from the spam, always going to be able to just play this lane despite the harassment that Shushang will want to pull out on that Jakiro. Still shouldn't be that rough of a lane for Vinessi early on, down to our Jakiro to really try to apply as much damage as possible with the dual breath. Just make it uncomfy for JT and Baboka, but they're doing a great job of just not allowing the double dual breath to come out, although it does finally find its space. But yeah, you've got the control so far for the side of G2.iG. Vinessi's going to need a few levels to really be comfy in this lane.
This mid lane has been a little bit challenging for Nothing to Say, and this is kind of why you see the Death Prophet being picked up. I think it's just so lane dominant against these melee cores like the Ember Spirit, and YMO's been doing a fantastic job of just holding back Nothing to Say. Nothing to Say, certainly not feeling very, very safe to come close to this man. And it's that level 2 mark when you have the Spirit Siphon, you've got the Crypt Swarm. It does become a very frightening kind of lane here for the Ember. Even though Nothing to Say is still fighting the CS quite effectively here, still sitting at 10-0, comparatively to the 7-1 of the DP. But still, kill threat is certainly there if you are the Ember. You do not want to get too close.
Yeah, but he also has some protection with a Flame Guard. And he is just playing at range. Yamo as well, just respecting that. Slight fist spam can be pretty annoying for the DP if she doesn't have anyone to Spirit Siphon off of. So overall, it's actually pretty nice for Nothing to Say. He's not going to be able to run down, but one little misstep from Yamo, and he is not going to be finding that trade back in terms of using HP as a resource. Going to be interesting to see who does get priority on, say, the Water Runes into initial Power Rune. It does feel like the Power Rune's the big one. I think that enables Yamo to maybe look for that rundown on mid if you find something good, like, say, the Haste or Amplify Damage. That is still down the line. Last lane we haven't really taken a look at is that top lane with Monet and X-Nova on that Techie's Luna. Techie's Luna is a pretty fun lane. Good magic damage to catch out Candy Luna.
Absolutely.
But
Candy Luna is going to make it out. It's a little bit hard for the Timbersaw this laning stage as well, right? You do have so much magical burst you can throw out here from Monet and X-Nova, and of course CZY really cannot help out too much. He's been copping it as well.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit tough for Candy Loon. We've seen some Timbersaws actually just go for like a 2-0-3 build in response to this kind of lane, which does allow you to farm, but doesn't allow you to provide that laning pressure, provide that solo threat when this top lane is going to be left alone. So I'm interested to see how Candy Loon responds. Even just a right-click harassment of X-Nova is just that much better with the Lunar Blessing. Sure, it's just +3 damage right now, but it's free damage for a techies who had this much range. You know, there's not much you can do to really stop that, as long as X-Nova doesn't overextend. So it should be stable farm for Monet. Slightly behind in comparison to Vinessi, but Aluna doesn't mind that too much early on. There's a lot of catch-up, and it's a lot faster for the Luna to accelerate once the levels are up.
In a lot of danger, X-Nova and Monet chasing. Blastoff's going to land perfectly here from the techies, and X-Nova able to secure the kill at this top lane very easily. Just as soon as he saw the sticky bomb land on the Rubik, they knew they were going to go for that kill, and the CZY just a little bit out of position will pay for it with his life.
Yeah, that's the heavy magic damage, really good right-click range as well for the side of G2.iG coming into play. MAG.Yolo, I do appreciate that Candloon does go for the Timber Chain, but again, he's not that survivable on the Timber Saw yet to try to just jump forward and dissuade any moves from G2.iG, so you are going to get that build-up you'd want here on Monet. Overall, a pretty solid start coming out for G2.iG. The mid lane, for nothing to say, is starting to pull ahead in comparison to Yamo. I mean, you're not threatened by Spirit Siphon, ironically enough, as an Ember Spirit. It's down to the DP to run up to you to try to Spirit Siphon and cop the creeps, cop the Sleight of Fist, get the Flame Guard running. You're not able to instantly burst down the Flame Guard to start getting some good damage off as well with Spirit Siphon. So it's a little bit rough. And nothing to say, if he does get that slightly faster 6, is not going to be under threat. I don't see Yamo. Yeah, he's not going for the value point in the silence, so the Ember's going to be free to run out at that point and start to play a little bit more aggressive on top of the DP if he so wished.
I think nothing to say, yeah. Very, very happy with the way his laning stage has gone. And so he should be. He does win out the lane when he probably shouldn't have based on the hero matchups. So happy days for G2.iG so far, because it feels like every lane has been won by them. The mid lane, you can make the argument it is quite even, but you look at the side lanes, JT and Baboka have had a fantastic time down bottom, and of course Monet and X-Nova have had an even better time up at the top lane. So certainly the side lanes are going extremely well. MAG.Yolo not too far behind, but the thing is with the draft that they did pick up, it did feel like they wanted to win out these lanes single-handedly, and it just doesn't feel that way. It feels like they've at max evened out, which is not exactly what they wanted with these picks.
Oh, Andy there?
Bit of a fight over the 6-minute power rune timings. Mo able to pick one up. Nothing to say though, he's going to find himself a Jakiro thanks to Baboka. And eventually, he probably will do... Oh, nothing to say, never mind. Messes up just a little bit. Assuming there was enough damage there onto the Jakiro, but there was not. And so with that, he will be able to back his way up.
I mean, it still leaves the Jakiro away from this bot lane, allowing JT to still get control. On your point about timings, the laning phase is important. The bigger timing here for MAG.Yolo is trying to group around this first push from Yamo. It's down to playing with Exo, playing with your Jakiro, trying to burn down these objectives. Let's see if Yamo finds the angle. Is spotted by the ward rotating up top though, so it shouldn't be the most effective movement out for this DP.
Yeah, nothing really going to come out of it. Like, he's got that level 6 timing. He wants to try and hit a tier 1 tower with this exorcism, but was spotted by a ward. We'll probably just head back into the mid lane. It's kind of the thing as well. Nothing to say has not exactly made it easy for him to start pushing in that mid tier 1 tower. Top lane, Candaloon's going to be chased down. Blast off. It will land perfectly from X-Nova. Candy, he gets to the low ground, but oh, he's going to make it just barely. Monet's the one in trouble now. Monet trying to TP out, and he'll make it as well. Oh my, Monet with the quick TP out. Meanwhile, X-Nova is still chasing Candaloon by the looks of it, but eventually we'll realize there is no point.
Yeah, I think he was just hunting down, seeing if that Wisdom Rune was left alone, was picked up earlier on. So not going to snag himself a little bonus there. The movement out does free up some space for Yamo, and he will start to gun down for that top tier 1. Doesn't quite have the Jakiro around with Liquid Fire. They're not able to leave Vinessi alone, but should still be a decent enough amount of damage onto that top lane. Still, nothing to say, is setting up to move in. Not that much mana left on Yamo, so any sort of response should be effective here.
Still, they bring more bodies up. And slowly G2.iG are moving there, but it is a little bit late to the party. Here we go, Monet and Nothing to Say going to show themselves. Nothing to Say going into that amplified damage rune, but doesn't have the chains to lock anyone down, so we'll have to let them go. Does return back into the mid lane instead, but they do put a halt to that push. I mean, it is the tower is quite low, to be absolutely fair, so they could just still go ahead and right-click it down. Manet is still hanging around the area. You do also have X-Nova, but it seems as though the T1 tower is definitely just gone.
Yep. Nice little take. Should allow the side of MAG.Yolo to start planting some forward wards. Even Vinessi is starting to switch areas to farm, understanding there's some risk playing bot. They don't have a tier 1 to TP2 top, so might as well try to snag some farm while he can. The side of G2.iG, not quite going to be grouping up for any sort of push on their own. JT has some room to pressure in bot, so they might be able to equalize purely off of just being left alone here on the Magnus. Is also allowed to go for the Empower build-up, considering his lane, so going to be able to farm up quite fast. Just finds it.
Appreciate this this build up here from Chu Sheng, I believe his name is on the Jakiro. He goes for the level 3 liquid fire. No points in Ice Path, which I suppose this is kind of the style of the draft, right? They just want to take these early tier 1 towers and try to control the map that way and buy more time for Vinessi. Yeah, you don't get to see the max liquid fire that often. This bottom lane. Onto the Timbersaw they go. Candyloon being hexed up here by Baboka, still having his mana drained, and he's just gone. Very nice pickup for the side of G2.iG, and well, nothing to say, he'll take it.
Yep. A really important kill for Nexus to start to find. First piece of activity on the map lining up for him. He is built to that mage slayer we talked about, and the DP is not going to feel the best with that damage reduction. So, and the sustainability for the Ember starts to kick up there as well. It's a really good solution, and it's the standard build-up for the Ember, which is why the Ember feels really nice here. 0-3, 5k start in the lead for G2.iG. This map state from the side of MAG.Yolo, it's not where you want it to be. They've got the Exo ready on Yamo. They've got to be able to group around mid. You know, play around that level 3 liquid fire, as you mentioned. Push objectives, because if you don't, I mean, you're going to be out-farmed by this Luna. Monet just has faster farming pace. JT has an entire lane bot to himself with no one coming in to punish. So the Magnus is just getting bigger and bigger. And Candyloon's there to track, but Candyloon can't really threaten the Magnus.
I certainly cannot. Yamo's going to try and push in this mid-tier 1 tower now. Chu Sheng will join. This combination of Jakiro Death Prophet certainly gets through these towers quickly. They will lose their siege creep, but it doesn't seem like they're quite done yet. No exorcism being committed, however, though JT going to go for a skewer play, but a nice lift up here from CCY, going to ensure that the skewer does not land, and now the chrono is out from Vinessi. They have caught the mag. JT is down, and Baboka, he will slowly follow. Nothing to say. Trying to still defend the mid-tier 1 tower, but he cannot. So MAG.Yolo, fantastic plays here in the mid lane, finding 2 kills plus the tier 1 tower.
Yeah, only costing the chrono. Not really a very important spell at this point in the game yet. Vinessi managed to get some activity out with that spell. It's already a good sign. They hold on to the Exo as well from Yamo. So they could take an extra team fight if they wanted to. There's not too much concern for the DP coming in. Already has the travels up. Very hard to chase down with that move speed. They'll smoke up with that Exo is still on hand. Finally looking for some punishment bot. It's Monet now farming that area. Really juicy target if they can reach it.
Monet is sticking around to farm. Yamo and CZY, they'll get some vision down. They do not see the Luna. In fact, Monet, he's going to be able to back his way out. Top side. Seems though they are going to find Candyloon once again, and hell, even Chu Sheng going down. So 2 for nothing special here for the side of G2.iG. And this Timber, I tell you, it just feels very, very squishy. Just constantly being picked off here by G2.iG, and oh, even now the triangle just being taken over.
Yeah, they've got really good clear with the Empower. It's not been taking too long to steal away these stacks. They're leaving the little skellies as well on the camp to just block it, although, nah, they'll clear it out. Yeah, they just want to take the farm. Already blocked anyway. The side of G2.iG did have to pop the RP on that. Because of that movement, they couldn't quite jump Monet, who is allowed to clear out his own triangle as well. I mean, everything's just winning right now for G2.iG. For MAG.Yolo, this emphasis on this kind of draft just puts a lot of pressure on tempo. It doesn't feel like they're playing to that tempo just yet. I mean, they've found 2 tier 1 towers, sure, but you kind of need to keep up that pace. Clear out the bot tower as well, prevent some outer access points for G2.iG to farm this far forward confidently. Then you can start to suppress that Luna, that Magnus, and start to keep that build up.
Nothing to say. He found Candyloon again. Candyloon does not chain down to the low ground yet. Nothing to say though. Finding out he does need to retreat. He was alone anyway, so just kind of threatening the life of Candyloon on his own, but Yamo does show up to ensure he does walk away. Meanwhile, CZY could find himself in a bit of danger because X-Nova might just cut him off here on the techies. And they will see each other. CZY, go for the lift up. X-Nova. Well, he's given the mines away, so CZY will protect himself, and X-Nova will eventually try to deal with the mines.
The classic same colored mines.
Yeah.
Always be a little bit confusing. Always happy when a Rubik does manage to pick that up. Still, G2iG are just keeping MAG.Yolo on their side of the river. Like, no movement across, no pressure onto that bot tier 1. No way of trying to steal that much camps up top as well. They're not cutting off G2iG's farm. And that's concerning. You've got Magnus, you've got Luna. They're farming up very well. And you're also building up a Nothing to Say. Even just the Mage Slayer timing on this Ember is just really oppressive for the side of MAG.Yolo. And we'll finally try to run up top, but the mines give that info away. And they're on the wrong side of the map anyhow. Not the best forward vision coming out, besides that one top ward here.
MAG.Yolo, they're still going to have a look around this top area of the jungle, see if they can find somebody, but certainly nobody around from G2iG. MAG.Yolo, I mean, they could commit for the top tier 2 tower. You do still have a Jakiro DP that you could kind of abuse, but it would be very, very early, regardless of the draft they do have. Seems like Yamo's going to be forced to just TP back into the mid lane anyway and keep it defended against Nothing to Say in the siege creep that they do have. No, even JT and Manea here. In fact, RP does come out. JT, he found 2 of them. The Eclipse will fly through. Yamo and CZY both gone. MAG.Yolo trying desperately to respond, but they are too late. It just happens too fast.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
I'm a little bit surprised that MAG.Yolo opted for that kind of fight as well when they had this position up top. Like, they have these wards planted off the back of that smoke. They had a good position to fight off the defense if G2iG were to respond. Instead, opting for a tier 1 mid at 16 minutes in. It feels like that tower's already served a very good purpose. And you could have gotten a little bit more on the top lane instead. Good punishment from G2iG. Just getting that initial jump, starting to jump early on Yamo. Probably led to that response out from MAG.Yolo when they recognized that Nothing to Say was on the hunt. And that just gives them that opening. 8k lead up for G2iG, 2-7. Hold on.
Chrono committed. They are trying to go onto this techies. X-Nova is going to go down, and I'm not sure if we caught that, but Vanessa was just running circles around X-Nova for some reason. Candyloon.
I think he saw the taser after.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Candyloon. We get caught out, we'll go down. Nothing to Say in Baboka once again, able to find a very easy pick off onto the Timber. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Yamo's been caught by JT, and Yamo, well, he'll try to siphon through this. In fact, it is going to work out for now. He'll try to turn back onto the mag. Across the map, though, Chu Sheng going to drop. Baboka, able to pick up a kill on the Lion.
They're finding all the wins here on G2iG. You don't find that kill on the DP, but you still force Yamo to use that exorcism. So he's not going to have it up for another siege or team fight. And that cooldown is pretty oppressive. I mean, the downtime of DP's Exo is really the big thing that I feel kind of holds it back right now. Along with just Mage Slayer being a really good item. Does not feel great for something like the Death Prophet to have to play into. 3-9, 9k lead still holding for G2iG. They've got a BKB being formed up by Nothing to Say. The Harpoon for JT is lined up next. So he's just going to go for the kidnappings that we've been seeing in Southeast Asia as well. And Monet is just playing a free farm game. Yasha up, BKB afterwards, after what seems to be his Manta flying in now. There's no easy answers for MAG.Yolo. They've missed their timing onto that early oppressive siege. It's now G2iG that has this mid-game tempo with how much damage this Luna can bring out. So they've got their own push. They're already destroying this tier 2 bot, whereas MAG.Yolo missed that opportunity on the tier 2 top. I think the next step for MAG.Yolo is to... They're going to have to try to drag Vinessi in, and going to have to try to play with that Jakiro and Face's Void combo. Try to get this macro power usage with a Chronosphere on the high ground defense, or at least just for this tier 3 down bot, as G2.iG are not stopping at all.
It doesn't feel like they need to. It just feels like they're the much stronger team at the moment with a 9k advantage. They will retreat, they'll play it safe, they'll get that farm going. G2.iG, they do also smoke up as 3 here with X-Nova, nothing to say in Baboka. Actually, this trio is extremely potent at the moment. We've seen Candaloon die to them multiple times. They'll go through the Twin Gates up towards the northern side of the map. And Yamo, he is farming around that area. A little bit unfortunate for the DP. If they do catch him, but no, they run right past him. They don't see the Death Prophet. They assumed nobody was there.
Oh.
Bit of a missed opportunity.
You saw the mine blow up now, but just a little bit too far now to catch Yamo out. Would have been a nice juicy kill, considering that Exo is just... Oh, he's stuck around.
He certainly did. Yamo has been caught out. He even had an invis rune that he popped earlier, but used it on the creep wave. JT will miss out on the skewer, but Yamo, he is definitely just going down. There is no surviving that kind of onslaught. So Candaloon at least going to show up, trying to go after Baboka, but he cannot even find that. He will get locked down by the chains of nothing to say. And that'll be about it. MAG.Yolo, they find no form of trade here with G2.iG.
Yeah, they get that big pick off again. MAG.Yolo just getting a little bit greedy. I mean, the moment that mine popped right next to Yamo, should have figured out that it was maybe time to leave, just because he's detected up there. Felt safe probably with his ward, but they didn't have the complementing ward on that jungle area below. So, does get sacrificed again. Follow through is not quite there from MAG.Yolo. Again, power pressure's not there. The timing's a little bit off. They still have this really good team fight potential from MAG.Yolo, but Vinessi is not really opting to clump around. Like, MAG.Yolo is not opting to try to take a team fight. Roshan is open. This would have been a really good spot to fight into. They don't have the forward vision to spot. They will spot with a scan, but it doesn't take too long for the Roshan to die here.
It certainly does not. Roshan, already less than half HP, will not be surviving long enough for MAG.Yolo to make it, but they could still try to go for a bit of a surprise fight. Roshan now officially down. Monet will go ahead and take the Aegis for himself and the Luna. MAG.Yolo, they are still making their way over the area. I mean, perhaps they could try for this. But G2.iG, they've all left the building.
Yeah. Really smart of them to just back out. They did have forward wards to kind of just watch. No one's showing up in triangle. No one's trying to farm into that jungle down bot. So they realize smoke's out. Play it safe. Go back. Take Tormentor for free. Nothing will stop them. Secondary life being up on Monet. Pretty nice spike for him. BKB is also almost done. Just lacking the Ogre Axe next. And they do manage to get the free shard for X-Nova, so a little bit more coming out on the reactive taser as well. Gonna be really nice to have that on Nothing to Say up front, or JT up front. Both ones kind of make sense here for the techies to plop onto. G2.iG now with their own smoke.
Where are they headed though? Oh, JT, who's he gone? He's found himself CZY. Nice easy kill onto the Rubik. Poor old Baboka, he wanted to get the finger stack for himself, but will not be able to as the kill just happens a little bit too fast. Because JT with the harpoon blink, he just finds it so easy now to hunt people down with the skewer. You can even see MAG.Yolo, like they had vision. They know exactly where G2.iG are hiding by this mid T2 tower. And they're just going to sit in their base and wait. Because G2.iG, they also have vision right by the T2. So if you show yourself on the low ground, you are just as good as dead to JT's skewer.
Yeah, just have to be patient with Mag. And they can play high ground here. They've got Macropyre Chrono. You've got decent damage coming in on Vinessi. He's just lacking his Hyperstone for the full Mjolnir. So that's going to be a big timing for him. Candaloon is on his lonesome though. And it's only Nothing to Say, but there's an intercept from the rear here.
He's going to try and chain up north and just TP away, and looks like he will make it out. The G2.iG just going to start prepping for the top tier 2 tower by the looks of it. And of course, Manet still has plenty of time available on this Aegis to play with. They'll go for the Tormentor on the Radiant side while they're here, because why the hell not? So more shards to come up here for G2.iG, as JT will be the one to take it now. And of course, they are just simply waiting for a creep wave to be able to go after that top tier 2 tower. The creep wave is now upon us. A big smoke up from G2.iG as well. They'll leave Manet alone. They'll use Manet as this kind of distraction play at the top lane. While the rest of G2.iG, they'll head through to the Twin Gate. They want to go down to the bottom side of the map where Yamo is currently farming. And I'm not sure if they actually saw him with that Observer Ward. Oh, Yamo, he's going to back off at the right moment. He did catch him. So G2.iG, sadly, unable to find a kill with that smoke rotation.
Oh, they got a good read. They know Monet's alone. They still have that full team fight ready here.
And Baboka going to break the smoke for them. Nice blink away as well. Baboka is still alright. They'll use him up, but the team is incoming. Baboka will be lost, but nothing to say. He finds both supports on the backside. And there you go. CZY and Chu Sheng are both gone. It's Candyloon trying to get his way out. Manet with the chase, however. The sticky bomb will land. And Candyloon, he will be going down with both his supports. Now even Yamo being stalked here by nothing to say.
Oh.
Running right into a double mine situation. JT trying to get closer. Won't have the kill, but nothing to say will. 4 for the price of 1. The only survivor was Venecia on the Void.
Yeah, that does not bode well for MAG. They get a good read to try to get a rotation out, but they run the wrong way. If they went into the triangle instead, Monet would have been a juicy target to kill twice over. Now the high ground doesn't take too long with Luna. They still have the Chronosphere to play with, but without the macro power for a few seconds, it's not going to feel as safe for Venecia. Does have his full Mjolnir out, but doesn't have the TP home. So they're just going to have a free ride here in G2.iG. And Baboka made him work for that kill. Just pushing them even further back out of position, isolating the two
Venecia.
supports. Because
He's been scanned out on the Void. He'll walk right into JT. JT just casually waiting for the time walk. Obviously didn't need a RP, but he does anyway. It's just all about sending a message.
and just guaranteeing, I suppose, that they had just enough lockdown. Perhaps Baboka just a little bit out of range. Maybe wanting to just claim that kill. You know how JT is when he's playing his mag. Next set of racks not going to take too long to melt. Macro fire being thrown out because the Void's not around. Not enough to stop this push out from the side of G2.iG. And they'll just find everything. Like, without that Chrono and Mac combination, it doesn't feel like you've got defense here.
You certainly don't. The bottom racks gonna fall very, very quickly here to G2.iG. That'll be Mega Creeps now on the way for G2.iG, and sadly for MAG.Yolo, they just haven't really shown any signs of strength here in this game number one against this team. The G2.iG is still going to pay the respect of backing off. They'll let the Megas come in first, they'll really force them back into their base. But I do believe they don't really need to retreat too much here, G2.iG. They can still maintain their position. Not really too much to be afraid of. With a 27k advantage, yes, the game's still throwable, but it would be a bit of a mission to get that done. In fact, Dota Plus has already given up. 100% the way of G2.iG.
Yeah. And they'll try it one last time for MAG.Yolo. Got that Face's Void back up. Nothing to say.
Lift is there. Chrono committed onto nothing to say. They should have some form of damage for this guy, surely. They will take him down. But now Manet rushes in. Chu Sheng is gone. Candyloon will be able to chain away for now, but not for long, as they do lose Yamo. They'll lose Candy as well. Triple kill out for Manet. It might be an ultra to boot. CZY down. They won't find a rampage, but what does it matter? GG is called. G2.iG, they'll take the first game in 27 minutes.
Yeah, really strong form from G2.iG. MAG.Yolo going all in on this early tempo, early tower take that doesn't really come on.